The day I married him, I felt rich and empty at the same time. My hands were shaking, but not from love. My name is Anna, and this is my story. I grew up in a small town where money was always a problem. My father worked 2 jobs, and my mother cried at night. I promised myself I would never live like that. When I met Daniel, he was driving a black car. He wore expensive suits and a gold watch. Everyone looked at him with respect. He was kind in public and quiet in private. He spoke about business, houses, and trips to Paris. He never spoke about feelings. I did not love him, but I loved the safety he offered. He said, "I will give you everything." I did not ask what he wanted in return. My friends asked me if I was sure. They said love is more important than money. I laughed and called them dreamers. Our wedding was huge and beautiful. White flowers covered the garden like snow. People said I was the luckiest girl alive. But that night in our big silent house, I felt cold. Daniel went to his office after the guests left. I sat alone in my wedding dress. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. I had new clothes, a big kitchen, and shiny floors. But I had no one to talk to. Daniel was always busy with meetings and calls. When I tried to hug him, he looked tired. He said, "Please, Anna." "Not now." I started to miss my old small room. I missed my mother's simple soup and warm smile. I missed laughing without fear. One evening, I found a photo in Daniel's drawer. It was a picture of him with another woman. They looked happy, truly happy. My heart beat fast and loud. I waited for him in the living room. The house felt darker than ever. When he came home, I showed him the photo. He looked at it for a long time. Then he said, "That was my past." His voice was calm, too calm. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. Something inside me started to break. That night I could not sleep. I asked myself why I really married him. The answer was clear, and it hurt. I married him for money, not for love. I thought money would protect me from pain. I was wrong, but I did not know how wrong yet. 3 months later, I learned the truth about my marriage. It came quietly, like a whisper in the dark, and it changed everything I believed. Daniel began to control small things first. He asked where I went and who I met. He checked my phone without asking. He said it was for my safety. He said rich people have enemies. But his eyes looked full of fear, not care. One afternoon, I went to visit my parents. Daniel was angry because I did not tell him before. He said a wife must respect her husband. His words felt heavy like chains. I looked at him and did not recognize the man I married, or maybe I never knew him at all. At dinner, he spoke about a new contract. He said he needed me to attend a business party. He wanted me to smile and impress his partners. "You are part of my image," he said. "People trust a family man." I felt like an object, not a wife. That night I looked in the mirror. I saw diamonds on my neck and sadness in my eyes. I asked myself, is this the life I wanted? The next week, I met the woman from the photo. She was standing outside our house. Her face looked tired but strong. She told me her name was Clara. She said Daniel once promised to marry her, but when her family lost money, he left. "He loves power more than people," she said softly. "He marries for business, not for love." Her words cut deeper than any knife. Suddenly everything made sense. I was not his partner. I was his investment. That evening, Daniel came home smiling. He said the contract was successful. He thanked me for being a good wife. I looked at him carefully. For the first time I was not afraid. I was awake. "I am leaving," I said quietly. His smile disappeared. He thought I was joking. "You cannot survive without me," he said. "You married me because you needed me." He was right. And that was the problem. I packed a small bag that night. I left the diamonds on the table. They were heavy, but my heart felt lighter. As I walked out, I understood something important. I was poor before, but I was free. With Daniel, I was rich but trapped. The biggest mistake was not marrying for money. The biggest mistake was thinking I was not enough without it. And that was the lie I finally refused to believe.